Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from Budapest, and this is one time when we're going to make the draw procedure for the FINA Water Polo World Cup 2023. A warm welcome to all the water polo fans. I think it's just great to be back here in the capital of Hungary, where only 5 months ago we saw plenty of excitement, thrilling moments, and of course a wonderful World Championship. This time it's a new format that FINA have just been introduced in order to give some spark to the world, to the sport, and of course we're going to have some special guests guiding us through the procedure of the draw and of course explaining us all the details about the new World Cup format. We'll give you information about the women's and the men's tournament separately, and I'm proudly telling you also that we're going to accompany the president of the FINA, who will also be part of the show later today. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tamás Molnár, the three-time Olympic champion, and of course, the chairman of FINA Technical Water Polo Committee, who will join us to explain all the regulations of the new format. Hello, Tamás.
Good afternoon,
But
everybody.
before everything else, what's behind the new concept? What is the goal of FINA when you decided that a brand, which was called the World Cup, has to be, so to say, rebranded and introduced to the world as a new format?
Thank you very much. The new technical committee started to work in July, and we immediately dig deep inside the competition structure, and the main idea that in FINA the Olympic Games and the World Championships are the most important. And looking back, we had Challenger Cup, we had World Cup, we had World League, lot of competition and very tight competition schedule. And we tried to use all the experience, the past, and we are coming out this brand new competition which is called World Cup. We are here today to make the draw, to explain the competition system, and we are happy that we can present the system.
Okay, before you will hopefully guide us through the procedure of the draw itself, could you please introduce all the fans of water polo that what is going to be happening throughout the different tournaments? Because there's qualification tournament 1 will be followed by qualification tournament 2. The number of teams for the men's and for the women's tournament are not the same. So actually, what is the competition format from next year's on in the World Cup?
First of all, in the previous system, in the previous format, the top teams they had a very limited opportunity to meet each other. That's why we decided, we proposed to make a global first division where all the best teams can participate on the same competition, which never happened before. That's why we decided to organize the first division for the top teams in men and women as well. In women, 8 teams, in men first division, 12 teams. And we will give all the other countries to participate in a continental level, and who qualifies from the continental level can participate in an intercontinental final, which will qualify also for the World Cup final.
So
and everybody will have chance to reach the final.
Yeah, that's the main thing, I think. So the smallest water polo nations will have a chance to qualify for the big tournament, for the super final, and that's very new. Yeah. I think.
And on the other hand, we would like to eliminate the games which creates a big difference in between the teams. We would like to provide opportunity to compete at the same level, and it's a big motivation for the teams as well.
You've already mentioned that in Division 1 you have 8 teams for women and 12 for the men. What's behind those two numbers? How could you put them into order, like the first 12 in men and first 8 in women? What defines their position?
The positions, in men we have 12 teams and 6 lines. The lines are determined for the previous World Championships final result. Same with the women. And these numbers, 8 and 12, is the best competition system to keep the consistency in between the strength of the teams.
So, of course, the top 12 and 8 teams for men and women are just the ones who competed well throughout the World Championships. So who are those teams?
In women, there were championships in USA and Hungary on the first lane. The second lane is Italy and Netherlands. The third lane, Spain and Australia. And the fourth lane, China and Greece.
That's clear. And for the men? Or we can discuss it later for the men. It's up to you.
We can do it now.
Okay.
The first lane is the finalists from Budapest, the world champions Spain and Italy. The bronze medal game participants Greece and Croatia. From the 5th place, USA and Serbia. For the 7th place was Hungary and Montenegro. Japan, Australia on the 5th lane, and Georgia and France on the 6th lane.
And all this from the top of your head. So lesson learned, Tomáš. Well done. Okay, one last thing that you need to tell us before we actually move on to the draw. What will be the procedure of the draw? We can see 3 pots and, of course, some white balls. So what are those?
We will start with the woman draw. That's why the setup is already prepared for the woman draw. Here in this bowl, you can see the 2 teams for the lane 4. And who will draw first will be in Group A. And from the first ball, we will draw the numbers, the position in the group. And automatically, the other team will be in Group B. And to determine the position, we will draw another ball from here.
Okay, I think that's clear, and we will make it even more obvious while we're actually doing it. So let me introduce the second guest of today's live draw, the great goalkeeper of Team Netherlands, European champion and World Championship silver and bronze medalist, Lara Arts. So hello, Lara, good to meet you here. I believe you have some great memories from Budapest, from the summer 5 months ago. Netherlands came in 3rd, but you're also silver medalist, and not to forget about your gold medal back from 2018 in the European Championships. So what are the most precious moments that you're having?
Well, these moments you're calling right now, these are the most precious moments, I think. And the most fresh one is the bronze medal in the World Champs. And yeah, it was really exciting because I just came back in this team, and also the team changed a lot. So it was really a new beginning for this team to check that where we are, how good we can be, and yeah, it was amazing to finish 3rd in this World Champs.
I think it's not a secret why we picked you, or we invited you to this show, because you play daily water polo here in Hungary for the team Dunai Város. What did it mean to you to come to the cradle of water polo and play here on the club level as well?
To me, it means a lot to play in Hungary because I know how big the sport water polo is in Hungary. And in Holland, it's just more like a hobby and people dreaming about playing on a high level and in a pool with full of people. And here in Hungary, it really is there. Like if you play the big matches, there are a lot of fans who are coming to watch you. And yeah, it's really great to play in Hungary, the water polo.
Tell me one thing, Lara, what makes you more nervous? Just trying to save a few shots at the World Championships, or trying to decide between pot A and pot B here at the draw?
I have to say my nerves are not really too much. I'm always really relaxed, but I think the penalties or something is a little bit more excited for me.
Okay, so I hope you arrive with hot hands as you operate in the pool normally. And let me introduce to you your partner for the draw, Mr. Kyriakos Yiannopoulos, the FINA Bureau Water Polo Liaison. Please join us. Welcome to Budapest. I think you already have practice in such draws, do you? Okay, your task will be very easy. You will always have to pick one team from the pot in front of you, And of course, we already found out, because Tomáš told us, that the first team that you're going to pick will be joining Group A, and a second will be joining Group B. One more important information before we actually move on with the draw is that while Laura will draw between 4 balls, is the order inside Group A or Group B, because the competition schedule have already been decided. So it's really important to find out if it's position 1, 2, 3, or 4 in Group A or B. So after all the information that was necessary for everybody to know, I kindly ask you to start the draw now with line 4.
Thank you very much.
And as we told you, in the women's competition, it's Greece and China in line 4. And the first team that Mr. Yiannopoulos will bring is Greece. Okay, Greece for the Greek man. And Greece will come into Group A in the tournament. And Laura will find out into what position.
A1.
This is A1. So Greece into A1. Mr. Yiannopoulos, the second team, just to make sure that we didn't miss line 4 in the women's competition, should be China.
China.
And China will be joining Group B. Which position? Laura will tell us soon. Of course, teams from the same line will avoid each other. B4. And we immediately move on to the third line with Australia and Spain, who will be joining Greece and China in the 2 groups. So from this spot,
Australia.
it's Australia joining Group A, and we'll be playing Greece. And the position, once again, is important because of the tournament schedule.
A4.
A4, Greece and Australia in Group A. We move on to the other team in the third line, or pot 3.
Spain.
Spain it is. Spain will be joining Group B. To China, into which position? We will find out soon.
B1.
B1. So once again, in Group B, we have Spain and China. In Group A, we have Greece and Australia. Now, it's the second line with the Netherlands, exciting moments, Laura, and Italy. No time for vicious here. The Netherlands. Okay. So all the people of Netherlands are watching you as one, as it is literally in your hands now.
A2.
A2. With Greece and Australia. And that means that Italy will most probably join Spain and China in Group B.
Italy.
Italy, it's up to Laura to find a position in Group B for Italy. And while she's doing so, we will prepare to the first line.
B3.
This is B3. That means that Spain, Italy, and China will form a group. And finally, Mr. Yiannopoulos, please make the draw for the first line with the United States of America and Hungary, the 2 participants of this summer's World Championship final.
Hungary.
Hungary will join Group A to Greece, the Netherlands, and Australia. That should be, if we did everything good, A3 it is. And just to finalize the draw for Division 1, first qualifying tournament, the world
And of
champions,
course, United States.
the world champions Team USA will join Group B, with Spain, Italy, and China into the second position. B2 it is. So that actually concludes the draw for Division 1 and first qualifying tournament for the women's competition in next year's World Cup. We already gave you a summary. You can already see it here. Greece, Netherlands, Hungary, and Australia. So the Netherlands will take on Hungary. Special day or special night. I don't know about the exact schedule, but a special match for you, Lara, isn't it?
I think it's a really special match because I have friends in the Hungarian team. So yeah, I will play against them already in the group. And yeah, of course they are very strong, we are very strong. And together with Greece and Australia, it's a really interesting group.
Yeah, what memories do you have from the other two teams that you will be facing?
Yeah, of course against Hungary, not too good memories for me because the world champs at the semi-final, they won from us. But that's exactly why I'm excited to start to play again against them. And against Greece, it was a quarterfinal. We play against them at the world champs.
Yep.
So yeah, it's very good, interesting memories.
Thank you very much, Laura, and
Thank you.
of course, Mr. Yiannopoulos. That was the draw of the women's tournament for next year's World Cup. Before we move on to the men's draw, we're going to show you a short video of the most memorable moments of last edition of the World Championships, and then we move on to the men's draw. Ladies and gentlemen, this is time to find out about the tournament schedule and, of course, the teams and the groups for next year's Men's Water Polo World Cup. For this, of course, once again, we need two experts, two water polo players or ex-players who will help us and guide us through the procedure. One of them will be Tamás Molnár, the three-time Olympic champion, and of course he will have company, the Hungarian national player and the player of Ferencváros, Ádám Nagy, is arriving. So welcome, Tamás, once again, and Ádám, for the first time, it's great to have you here. Just a small chat before we move on to the procedure. Actually, in 2018, you have already won a competition called World Cup. I believe this World Cup has nothing to do with that World Cup. This was most probably your first major gold medal with the national team of Hungary. So how was it to win the World Cup back in Berlin 2018?
Yes, that's true. That was my first tournament with the national team. So it's a really good experience for me because we could win, and I felt, you know, this taste of the victory, and I want to feel it again and again. So
this summer was quite a mix of feelings and results for you in Hungary, because the World Championship didn't really work out fine for Hungarians. But then just 2 months later, in Split, Croatia, you went all the way to the final and win silver medal in the Euros. So how was this summer altogether for you in Hungary?
This summer was full of emotionals. You know, we could play a World Championship at home in this fantastic atmosphere, so it's a really good, how to say, but after that we have this bad result, but I think that motivated us more than ever, and that's why we could more successfully in the European Championship.
Yeah. And finally, what is your motivation for next year's World Cup?
Of course,
prestigious tournament with lots of good teams.
Yes, of course, I want to win again. That's why I told you that I felt this feeling. So we will see.
So best of luck, of course, for you,
Thank
Hungary,
you.
and all the other 11 teams, because as Tamás already told us, 12 teams have been picked for the first division in the men's tournament. So it is just time to start the draw with the first pot, which will be line 6 for the men.
To Group A.
And this is France. Will be joining Group A. The question is, into which position?
E5.
A5. So we put France to P5 in Group A, and France will of course avoid Georgia, since they're coming from the same line, same spot or pot. And which position they'll get in Group B? This will be B3. All right, we know that now. Let's move on to the next step, and the next step will be line 5. I just wanted to make sure that I'm not missing the correct numbers. So line 5, and from line 5, Japan. Japan goes straight into Group A, joining
A2.
France. A2, so the second position in Group A for Japan. And most probably from line 5 should be Australia. Australia it is.
B4.
And B4. So we have 6 teams once again to be drawn into 2 groups. 2 of those 6 we already know. Let's move to the next line, which consists Hungary and Montenegro. And it's Hungary. Always nice to see when a 3 times Olympic champion draws his own country into Group A.
A4.
And Adam does us A4. So we know now that Japan, Hungary, and France will form a group. Montenegro is coming up, and Group B, joining Georgia and Australia. But into which position?
B6.
B6. To the last position. And we move on to the third line now. Once again, brief explanation. The positions are important because of the tournament schedule that has been defined earlier.
United States of America.
United States from the third line. will be joining Japan, Hungary, and France into Group A.
A6.
A6. And here comes one of the most successful water polo nations.
Serbia.
Of course, Serbia, who didn't really have a successful World Championships, but I bet they know how to turn it around next year.
B1.
So Serbia has just joined Georgia, Australia, and Montenegro in Group B. We have 2 more lines and 4 more teams to be drawn into the 2 groups. The second line is with Greece and Croatia.
Greece.
It's Greece. We'll be joining Group A. We'll be playing Japan, Hungary, France, and Team USA.
A3.
Into the 3rd position. So A1 is open for the last team. And now let's see where Croatia goes.
Croatia.
A2 or A5 should be.
B2.
B2, sorry. So Serbia, Georgia, Australia, and Montenegro will be playing, all of them, against the Croats. And the last 2 teams to be drawn from the first line, the 2 finalists from this summer's World Championships, Spain and Italy.
Italy.
It's Italy joining Group A.
A1.
Into the 1st position, and it should be Spain completing the draw in Group B.
Spain.
And it's Spain. Which position?
B5.
Okay, so the draw is now completed. I believe that 1 team is missing, and that should be Japan from Group A, but that is just some minor technical mistake. Italy, Greece, Japan, Hungary, France, and the United States will be Group A. Serbia, Croatia, Georgia, Australia, Spain, and Montenegro will be Group B. Once again, this is the first qualifying tournament in Division 1 for next year's Men's Water Polo World Cup. So the draw is over. Adam,
Thank you very much.
what are your expectations? What can be the biggest fight in this group?
How I see, Italy is the best in our group, and we always have really good matches. But I think our group is harder a little bit, but I hope we can be better.
What makes you say that? What makes Group A harder?
In the last year, just.
Okay, all the
Just
results.
because of this, yes.
Yeah.
How I feel.
Okay, you know what makes it harder? That you have to play in it. That
Yeah.
is very hard.
Yeah, but I hope we will be better and we can be in the final.
The super final, the dream of all the players, both men and women. But there are a few steps towards the super final because we have not 1 but 2 qualification tournaments, both for men and the women. All the dates will be found on the official website and channels of FINA. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
both of you, for being part of the live draw. And
Thank
for now, thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and honor to announce the president of FINA, Mr. Hussein Al-Musallam, joining us at the very end of the draw. Mr. President, welcome. Welcome back to Budapest. What are your memories from 5 months ago, where you held your final speech and you seemed very satisfied at the closure of the World Championships?
Having a very beautiful memory in this beautiful city, Budapest. I am really proud about what the city have done and Hungary for the development of the aquatic sport, not only in water polo, but also for the other discipline. We've been here this year And we were here 2017, and we are coming back in 2027.
Is there a collaboration between FINA and the capital of Hungary? What is the relation between your organization and the capital of Hungary?
Our relation with Hungary, it goes to the real development of aquatic sport and the real, let's say, objective of the aquatic sport, which is practice sport, especially swimming and water, for health and life, and present your country in the best way as you can.
Mr. President, let me ask you, what are your personal expectations of the World Cup? The new format has just been introduced. It had been rebranded. The World League is cancelled. All the minor tournaments are cancelled. And all the teams should be competing under the new brand, which is called the World Cup. So what do you expect now?
What I expect from this new format for the World Cup, and you look for the aquatic sport, FINA, and especially in this case, in particular, the water polo, that any team can win this World Cup. It's not like before, 4 or 5 teams. Now any team can win. And I'm very happy that for today we completed the women, the best 8 team in the world, the draw, and now the men, the best 12 teams, and more to come. And we have to evaluate what the new format within the next 2 years. And we will see, because our real objective, we want to make the water polo around the world more enjoyable, more practiced, and new teams coming to win.
I hope it will meet your expectations. I wish you good luck as a president, as a dreamer on top of FINA, and thank you very much, Mr. President, for joining us for the live draw.
Thank you for this excellent host and the excellent draw. Thank you
so much. And we also thank you, ladies and gentlemen out there. This is the end of the live draw from Budapest. We already know all the groups and the different divisions for the qualifying tournaments. Me personally, I can't wait the tournament to start. Next year's March and April will be the first matches, but follow us on the different surfaces for all the information. Once again, thank you for watching us, and goodbye.